everybody. Welcome to Typically Unique Walk and Talk. Took me a minute to get my knee brace on, everything get going. It is a sunny degree day here, and I'm glad I do not hear the wind or feel the wind. Looking to see if I can see chat. Let me know if you can. Okay, always got to do that sound check. Everybody's doing well today. I have the smiley face killers on the thumbnail. That's what I wanted to talk about today. But I have to say, I was just listening to Miss Potts. Woo! She was on one this morning. Kane. Yep, I'm walking, not running. No running here. That's funny. I would love to do a discussion with Miss Potts, like what she was talking about today, because we don't agree on everything. I love her. I love Annie. I think we could have a good, like, civil, interesting conversation. I think that'd be so good. Hey, Ro. My video that I did yesterday, my live, bodies keep washing up in Houston. I know. Did you guys watch the Brian Etten thing he did with that? Oh, I wanted to remember that detective's name. He was a fast talker, that guy. Yeah, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Kane, I just wanted to tell you real quick on my live yesterday, I showed, because it was a Halloween themed episode, so I showed some of my past, like, costumes and stuff, and Carlos and I had that disco picture where he had that blonde afro on. It's really funny. I don't think Carlos saw it. Yeah. He's probably going to kill me when he sees that I put it on there for everybody to see. Hi, Witchy. It's not bad. Like, it's a beautiful day. But as soon as I get outside, my eyes start watering. So if you see me wiping my eyes or sniffing a little bit, that's why. So you guys know the smiley face killer theory is that there's like this like underground network of serial killers that probably communicate on the dark web or something, and they go around the country and they're committing these weird murders where the victims end up in water, right? Cold and rainy in Indiana. Oh no, that means it's coming our way. I'm in Ohio. Sometimes Indiana weather will either go east to us or sometimes it goes north. Look at the trees. Can you guys see the colors? Beautiful. Kane, you guys don't get the fall foliage like we do, huh? I'd trade you in a heartbeat for the weather you have. So yeah, the smiley face killer theory is that's what's happening. It's like it's they think it's got to be a group because these events, these crimes, these murders happen all over the country, and it started back in the late 90s. So again, I used to listen to a ton of podcasts like on iTunes when I would walk. So I've known about this theory for years and years and years and years and years. So in the early 90s, it started. Look, I got a tear running down my face. It's not, I don't think it's allergies. I think it's just the wind. Yeah, please hit the like button. I appreciate that. Thank you. Up in Boston, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Chicago. I think there was even some in New York, Pennsylvania area. So it seemed like it was up along the Great Lakes or rivers that were connecting to the lakes. Yeah, yeah, just the wind, I think. It'll stop after I adjust. I think, I hope. And I always make sure I like try to clear myself out. Kane gifted a membership. Oh, you're awesome. Thank you. Or did you do that for yourself? Oh, Witchy sent it. Let's see. I can't see. Let me see what's going on here. It's hard to see on my phone what happened. I see a membership. Kane got it. And people are thanking Michelle. Michelle, thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Oh, hi, I am. I live stream it. You want to be famous on YouTube? Have a good day. I did not hear you. I'm getting hit on, you guys. Tell Carlos. Tell Carlos. He said, "Hey, you're doing your walk for today." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm live streaming it," and I said, "You can be famous on YouTube." And then he said, "You did good, baby." Hey, I still got it. All right, here's the construction shot for this week. They are still at the end of our road. They're replacing all the fire hydrants. And then they're going to have to replace the road because they are tearing it up, Jack. Oh, my finger's on the microphone? No, my microphone's up here in my ear. Can you hear me? Maybe it came out. I think it moved. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'm using my AirPod as the microphone. Okay, sorry about that. Um, Sorry. Thanks, Kane. Thanks for letting me know. I was saying that the construction at the end of our road, they're replacing all the fire hydrants and they're going to have to fix that road because they are tearing it up. All right. All right. So smiley face killers. It was up around the Great Lakes, and those are the cases that like I became infatuated with because they seem to be mostly college-aged men that were athletes, and something would happen to them mostly at bars, but not all. One guy was at I think it was at like a hockey game or something, a professional hockey game. So in a stadium, they all disappear. They disappear for days, weeks, and then end up in the river, in the water. But the question is, where are they at? Because they know that they're missing for a period of time. So where are they going? So then you start going to Austin. That's where Lady Bird Lake is, right? Austin. And I don't know a lot about those individual cases, but I did hear that some of them are older. Like now it's not college age guys anymore. It's like 60-year-old people. I think maybe some women in there. Hello. Oh, um, so that's odd. But the detective that Brian Enton was talking to, he said that group seems to be like conniving, and they would be, from what he knows, they would possibly change up their MO just to like throw it off. And they like toy. He made it seem like they toy with the detectives, leaving different clues, doing things in a certain different way. So that's interesting. So I wouldn't necessarily rule that out, but I would have to look more into, are these people missing for a period of time? How are they ending up in the water? Things like that. And yeah, so did you guys hear that detective say he predicted he and you had to read between the lines and do a lot of inferring with what he was saying, because Brian, I thought, did a really good job asking him point blank questions. But the guy was like, I can't tell you that. Like, to me, it seemed like they have infiltrated the group or have somebody that has infiltrated the group, or at least they're watching the group online, which is terrifying. But he seemed to know some inside information, and he said he predicted that there would be an event, this smiley face crime in Tennessee. For some reason, he had an inkling they're going to Tennessee. They're going to do something in Tennessee. And then Riley Strain happened. And when Riley Strain disappeared, he said, that he thought he would end up in the water. It's horrible, horrible. Yeah, the stereotypes from the 80s and 90s. Isn't it terrifying? Like, I just keep imagining these people on the internet, and you're on the internet, you're going to the dark web. I don't even know how the dark web works. Like, I don't even know, like, how do you even get on that? Like, what is that? Like, do you type in dark web on Google? Like, I don't even know how that works. I know it's probably some secret, like, IP address code, or I don't know. I don't even know. But you get on there, if you're someone who's looking up these, like, weird, malicious, killer vibe topics, and you stumble upon maybe somebody in a chat that's in this smiley face killer group, and you make a connection. And that's how I could see people getting into this. And that detective made it seem like it's a network. Almost, he compared it to the mob, right? Having different organizations in different parts of the country. And it makes me wonder, like, if he knows the names that they go by. When it was the mobs, it was, the Gambino family, or that ran the different areas. So yeah, I wonder if they know that. It makes sense that it would just keep spreading and spreading and spreading. I just wrote the next season of Criminal Minds. I'll send them the script. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So yeah, I could just, like, picture. That's what I picture in my head happening. How they form, and then it has just spread and spread and spread since the 90s. The group's gotten bigger, so the area of the country is going to get bigger. I think not everybody in that group is going to be perfect. They might go rogue. I think that's why we see differences in some of the killings. Hey, Mark. Nice to see you. I'm on my phone, so it's hard to see the different. I see that you said make it rain some dollars. Go swimming. TWC Myers, hello. Is that a different username? Who is that? So I looked up, well, we were talking about Riley Strain, and I immediately thought that even when he went missing. And did you guys see so you guys know Riley Strain's the guy in Tennessee that was on his college fraternity trip? And he went missing from a bar, super drunk. Okay, that's the other thing. They drug these people, and they used to say it was always what is it? GHB, the assault drug. But the detective on Brian Etten said they also use another, I can't remember the name of it. Anybody remember the name of what he said? What's weird to me is that they all seem to like not remember, because there has been people that remember. These guys are they're all in. Yeah, I said I tried the jail food. um, there were people. Where's I going? Oh, that survived. So they were in the bar. They probably got drugged, but they had friends around them that were close enough that they made it home. And they did have GHB in their system. So that's how these detectives know. Um, that's how they know that they're getting drugged, because when they test the victims from the water, uh, all the medical examiners are saying, well, they do have GHB in their body, but it's the same amount that any normal deceased person would have. And I guess they did some experiment with like uh, people who are living. Were you guys on Dago's channel when I had to forget who it was? Said liver. He's a strange liver, meaning like the way he lives his life. That was funny. So they took someone who's alive. They don't have GHB in their system, and then they took a normal person, no drugs given, no alcohol, and just tested. And your body does produce a small amount of GHB when it's deceased. So I think some of the medical examiners are taking that, or maybe some of the law enforcement investigators are taking that to say, um, oh, it's just normal. They weren't drugged. It's just normal. So, especially down in Houston, Houston's really like deny, deny, deny. I think the Lady Bird Lake area, aren't they? I think they're starting to say they're at least connected, right? And I do think they let those detectives in to investigate it. And that detective on Brian Etten said that he thought 8 out of 12 were probably the smiley face scenario. So then it's moved to Houston now. So Houston's doing the same thing. It's like the same MO, right? Like, nothing to see here. These people are just falling in the water. But so many have happened that that detective said he hasn't been there yet, but he wants to go to see. And then back to Riley Strain, when they saw Riley Strain in Tennessee, I thought it was really interesting that there was a person killed. I thought he said Chicago. I could be wrong about that. That was wearing a number 32 jersey. And then Riley Strain was at the Luke Bryan 32 bar. And I think that was the next case. So that's what that detective was saying. Like they play games like that. Like they'll leave some kind of sign that, yep, this is us. If you're smart enough to catch the very slight signs that they leave behind. Oh, the media is acknowledging it in Houston. That's good to know. That's good to know. All right, so the specific case I wanted to talk about today is Chris Jenkins. Have you guys heard that name? His case was from like 2002, I think. And how's my sound? Is it still okay? Chris Jenkins, 2002 in Minnesota. Thank you, Witchy. In Minnesota, and it was Halloween night, so I thought, oh, that's a fitting one for this week. I'm silly like that, always wanting to have, you've heard of Chris Jenkins, okay. Have a theme if it applies, you know. So Chris Jenkins had a girlfriend for about a couple months. He was a lacrosse player, early 20s, you know, they said, I don't know if they said professional swimmer or accomplished. I think they said accomplished swimmer, right? Outrageously average. Yeah, like typically unique, right? I like that name too. Welcome, welcome. We're talking smiley face killer theory. So Chris and his girlfriend, he just seemed like a really nice, kind guy. They went to a Halloween party. Chris was dressed up in indigenous costume. So he had a tan, almost what do I want to call it? You know, like a dress style. So no pockets. He had a headband on and feathers. Watching from London. Hello, LXV Richie. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. I did hear that you guys are having some of these cases over there as well. I don't know the area, but a detective here in the United States said that there are some disappearances like this overseas. So you can let me know if you've heard of that over there. So they're at a Halloween party at a friend's house, and Chris and his girlfriend and 3 other people decide, okay, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go to the bar. His girlfriend worked at a bar. They're getting overrun. Who's getting overrun? All right, we'll go back to that later. His girlfriend worked at a bar, but she had the night off. So they go to her bar. And that's the thing about the smiley face killer theory, is that I have always thought it's the bar owners. The bar owners, the bartenders, the bar backs. I mean, if you think about it and you're in one of those kinds of groups on the dark web, you could easily go get a job like that. So I think my theory is that these people join this group on the internet and then they go and infiltrate an establishment like that. So the owners of the establishment might not. I mean, if you are the owner and you get in on that, that's real manipulative. But I don't think they necessarily have to be in on it. And if you can imagine, you find other people that live in your area and 2 or 3 of you go work at the same bar, like that's crazy. That could be crazy, because somehow this drug is ending up in people's drinks. And so Chris and his friends, they go to this bar, and he broke up a fight. There was a fight, and I said he's a super nice guy. He helped break it up, and in the process, he spilled his drink on his pants, and that comes into play because later his girlfriend loses sight of him. Like, she sees him 1 minute, and then the next minute he's not there, and he got kicked out of the bar. So, of course, the bar doesn't want any liability for someone who ends up missing. So the bar put out a statement, and they made their whole staff sign a non-disclosure agreement, and they were just deny. We did not kick him out of the bar. We had nothing to do with him leaving the bar. And they really couldn't disprove that because Chris he didn't have his phone on him. He didn't have his wallet on him because he had no pockets in his Halloween uniform costume. I said uniform. Halloween costumes are uniforms. um, his girlfriend was holding everything. So no matter how he got outside the bar, they would let him back inside the bar because he didn't have ID to get back in. So he was missing he was a long one. He was like 4 months, I think. I could be wrong about that, but I have a piece of paper at my house that I wrote it down on, but now I can't remember. It was a long one. So where are these people going for 3 weeks, 4 months? And I don't know if it was him or another victim that actually had like food particles. I think it was him in his throat and stomach contents. Oh no, it was another victim that detective was talking about, and he said they had a victim that had chicken in his stomach, but the last known place that he had ate was a place that only had beef, which I thought was weird. I'm like, what place has beef but not chicken? But I don't know, whatever, that's what they said. So then they were able to deduce that the captors are feeding these guys. Thanks, Kane. It keeps moving. You heard. What's the last thing you heard me say? Did you hear me say beef or chicken? Stomach contents? Yes. Okay. Yep. Just let me know if it falls out. I don't feel it. So weird. I don't feel it when it moves. All right. I have better headphones that wrap around my head, but I don't feel like the microphone's that good. Just a little muffled. Okay, good to know. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so this guy is missing, and you know, his girlfriend was concerned. She just went home. She's like, you know, where the heck is he? She does go to his house the next morning, like early in the morning, like 9:30 in the morning. Asks his roommate, hey, what's up? You know, his roommate's like, oh, he's probably cheating on you. You know, so what do you do with that? So she had to go to work. She goes to work. She did call his parents. His parents tried to report him missing. Now remember, this is 2002. So what do they do back in the day? You got to wait 36 hours before you can, before we will take a missing persons report. So all that crucial time goes by. Let's see who's in here. Yep, yeah. Uh-oh. Retro King. My mod's in here. You can do what you need to do. Keep an eye on things. So the parents report him missing. They search for him. There's nothing. And then he, of course, turns up in a river. They thought he went towards a bridge, of course. There's usually a bridge involved. And a woman was like going to work or on her lunch break, and she saw the body floating in the water like 4 months later. But then so she told them where the body was, and then when the police went to go get the body, it had moved. And I guess there was some question about that because the current wasn't strong enough. They didn't think there was anything in the water that would have made the body move on its own. So that was kind of suspicious too. The other thing about these cases is when they find them in the water, they'll try to say, oh, they fell off a bridge or they fell from a ledge. But if you fall, you're going to have bumps and bruises, right? And they didn't have any bumps and bruises. And the thing about Chris is the case that I'm talking about, he was a lacrosse player and he had practice the day I think the day that he went missing. And his parents were like, look, that sport is physical. He always gets bruises on himself. And when they found him, there were no bruises. Which means he would be alive to heal those bruises, right? Sorry, it's loud with the construction guys. I'll wait a second. Enjoy the construction site behind me. All right. So the bruises, if he died right away, the night that he went missing, I would think he would still have those bruises because then his body's not working to heal them, right? And then if he doesn't have those bruises because 4 months have passed and he's alive for 4 months and his body heals the bruises, but then you fall off a bridge into the water, you should have fresh bruises from hitting whatever you're hitting on the way down in the water. Where did Chris go for 4 weeks? And that's what I was wanting to say about the Riley Strain case. Someone showed a video that on the street where Riley Strain was walking, that there was like a SUV or a couple black SUVs that kept circling. And that's my theory. I think there's some vehicle that waits. That's why it's a network. It's a network of people in different areas. Someone has to do the drugging. Someone has to get them lured or dragged or whatever they do towards a vehicle. And then someone has to be driving the vehicle. Then they have to have a location where they're going. So someone's house. Could everybody just like search their houses for like secret torture rooms? Like Rex Heuermann's wife. Come on, girl. You didn't know what rooms were in that basement? Oh my, I know every inch of my house. That's funny. The other thing that I thought was odd with the early cases, like back when Chris Jenkins went missing, is that there were no, well, some of the victims did have signs of like being held, maybe not so much as like bound and gagged, but just restrained in some way. I think one had like maybe a belt buckle mark on them, but when you listen to these cases, I almost feel like they're doing like they're doing some kind of experiments on these kids. Like I don't get it. Like why are they? Because there's no sign of assault. There's no sign of a sexual assault. So what are they doing for 4 months? If it's some kind of torture, it's not physical torture. It's almost like mind torture or something. These are all just my opinions and speculations from watching things. And again, remember, if there is a network, the network's made up of individuals. So someone could go rogue and do their own thing and do things a little bit differently. But for the most part, and then everybody knows why the smiley face killer is because usually the bodies turn up somewhere near a bridge, definitely in a body of water, and somewhere near that body of water, there will be a bridge or a wall or something where they find a smiley face. With the Chris Jenkins case, because he was wearing that indigenous outfit, they found Native American writing, American indigenous writing symbols on the wall. Am I a psychic? Oh, because of my headband? No, you guys, you're gonna see me for the next 8 months with these headbands on because I'm gonna be outside in the cold. It's just gonna be cold from now until April. I'm not kidding. So I'm gonna have to have something to cover my ears. Wait till, well, you guys saw me last year in the snow. I bundle up. No, not a psychic. I am a Pisces though. So I'm very intuitive and emotional. Yeah. Kevin Gonzalez, hello. Yeah, cover my ears. It just makes your ears hurt. If you've ever been in that cold wind, ooh, you'll get an earache real fast. Real fast. Has my connection been good this whole time? I forgot to shut my Wi-Fi off. My daughter's going to yell at me. But I went way out of our neighborhood. Hi, Tony. Welcome, welcome. It's a vibe. That's right. I'm really good. I don't know why. I don't even try. But when I first meet somebody, like it's immediate. Immediate yes or immediate no. I'm Gucci. That's funny. I'm gonna have to tell more of these stories about the smiley face killers. I know there's another one. Um, it was on. There's a TV show. I don't know what network it was on, where it's the same detective that Brian Enton was talking to, but he has a partner. And oh, Kevin Gannon. That's who was talking to Brian Enton. See, names just come to me sometimes. Kevin Gannon and another detective. They're retired. They had a TV show. I don't know if it's still going, but it was about the smiley face killers. And man, the cases they told about were crazy. And one stood out to me, and I don't remember the guy's name, but I know it was up north somewhere. This might be a Wisconsin case. The guy went to a hockey game, and he was there with some buddies, I think, and his wife or girlfriend, fiance, whatever, someone he had been with for a long, long, long time, was coming to pick him up, and she was there. Like she was actually there. And picture whatever professional stadium you have in your major local town. It's like a stadium like that. So parking's, far and wide. You got to drive around a big building. And so she's there, and they're on the phone with each other. Like they're literally on the phone with each other. And she could tell he wasn't acting right. And she kept saying, like, where are you? Where are you? I'm here. I'm looking for you. Like, and what he was describing, she thought she was at the right spot. And it turned out like she never found him. And he disappeared. He just like disappeared. So that's why someone's throwing these people into vehicles and taking off. Like, I think there's enough evidence that they're getting drugged, they're getting followed, they're getting thrown into a vehicle, and they're driving off. And I think the best evidence is that Riley Strain case. Like, you can see the vehicles driving around at the time where he would have been. Oh, let's take down those rude comments, please. Someone take down those rude comments. I've been getting them in my walk and talks. My walk and talks are famous for that for some reason. Pisces, yeah. Gannon is working with a detective named Gilbertson. Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. Good to know. Good to know. I know there's been a lot of Chicago cases. I haven't heard any from Cleveland. Cleveland's got bars right on the river. We have one of those places that like the river comes in off Lake Erie, and they call it the Flats. I don't know if you ever heard of that because it's like way down low. Hi, Patrick. And you can take a water taxi from one side If you're at a bar on one side of the river, you take a water taxi over to the other side of the river. But I haven't heard of any cases. I'm going to look that up, see if there are any. Now, there is a famous Columbus case, but it's never been tied to the smiley face killers because his body has never been found. Have you guys ever heard of Brian Schaefer? Shout out to Patrick. Hello, good to have you here. Lauren Spears from, is that Idaho? Is Lauren Spears from Idaho or Indiana? I think you said you were in Indiana, right? Indiana. No, is it recent? Maybe I did. Wait, he? Oh, I just clicked something. I hope it didn't mess anything up. Indiana. What was the name? Sorry, I'm looking. Oh, you said Lauren. Oh, years ago. Wait, Lauren's a guy? Oh, she. Oh, that's the thing. That's the discrepancies that I'm talking about, and that's what Kevin Gannon was talking about. Like, is this group changing and advancing so much that now they're just going to start? And his point was because Houston and Austin haven't done anything, nobody's done, like, they haven't been caught. He's like, it's been 20 years, 25 years of cases, and no one's near, I don't think, getting close to finding out who these people are. So are they just getting so bold and brazen? They're like, we'll just do whatever, old people, women. Okay, yeah, I mentioned Brian Schaefer. So Brian Schaefer was from Columbus, Ohio. And well, he went to Ohio State University. I don't know where he's originally from. Um, but I think he was like a medical student or like some like high achieving career path, right? He had a fiance. Him and his fiance were ready to take a trip, like to some place wonderful, like I'm making this up. I can't remember where, like Hawaii or something like that, like a romantic, long awaited for trip. And maybe he was going to propose. No, I don't think he had proposed yet. I think he was going to propose because that factors into the case. He goes out to dinner with his dad that night, and then he goes, I'm going to turn around here. They're mowing the grass. Then he goes out with his friends. He's at the bar, and it's called oh God, the Tuna Saluna or something like that. It had a fish name, something that rhymed. Like, I'm probably saying it wrong, but it was something like that. The name of the bar in Ohio State. And if you've never been to Ohio State on is it State Street or, oh my gosh, the name of the High Street. It's High Street. High Street's the place to go. Like all the hangouts, like it's crazy down there, especially on game weekends. Um, so he goes to this bar, and there's literally like one way in and one way out, and you have to go up an escalator to get into this bar because it's like in this, building that has other businesses. So you go up the escalator to get into the bar he was in. And there's cameras. Like there's literally cameras. And there's no footage of him leaving. But he's never found inside the bar. What happened to that guy? The only thing that gives some kind of possibility is that there was construction going on at the back of this establishment. So I'm imagining the way they described it is like, like they tore out the inside walls, and so it's just the beams and things like that, and probably like tarps. But there's no evidence that he went out that way, and I think the way to get out that way was very, like, convoluted, like, unless he's so that's what's so weird to me is these victims seem to get drugged, and then it's almost like to me, what I imagine is that they're manipulated somehow, like, walk towards the water. You know what I mean? Like, why are they all walking towards water? Just because they're drugged, because these victims aren't like, walking out the bar and there's a body of water right there. They're walking a half a mile, 2 miles to get to a bridge, to get to water. What's making them walk that way? It's so weird. Oh, sorry, Tony. It is scary. I know. Listen, when I was putting the words on my thumbnail, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, but just got to be aware. Notice I did not walk up to the car that stopped to talk to me. I actually moved away and flipped you guys around to look right at him. Hi, Brooke. Yeah, I pretty much talked about everything already, but you can replay. You can replay. Definitely drugged, but what I was talking about is, Brooke, the mental manipulation that seems to be happening with these people. And I'm just saying, seems to be happening. It's the way I'm interpreting what I hear. Like, it just gives me, like someone said earlier, it just gives me those vibes. Like, I don't know. Like, how can you be standing outside a hockey stadium with your girlfriend on the phone, your fiance on the phone? She's literally looking for you in the spot where you say you are, and you're not there. What is going on? Why are you saying what you're saying? What were some more? Oh, I will go back to Chris Jenkins. So, Brooke, this is the smiley face victim that I chose to talk about today is Chris Jenkins. And he was in Minnesota. And he's the one that was dressed up like the Indian, right? The indigenous Halloween costume. For his investigation, they brought in cadaver dogs, or no, I don't know if they're cadaver dogs. They're scent dogs. Sorry, scent dogs. They took the scent dog to the bar. The dog walked outside the bar, followed the scent trail to a parking garage. And in the parking garage, it went down to the bottom level. And the dog alerted on 2 parking spots. And in a parking garage, usually the spots will be numbered. And there's video cameras usually in parking garages, right? So guess who parked in those parking spots that night? I'll give you a chance. Guess who parked in the parking garage spots the night of Halloween when Chris Jenkins went missing? Oh, Halloween decorations. Yeah, let me show you. Look at that big guy. 2 black SUVs, a white van. The bouncer. The bouncer. Don't get political, Kane. Can you believe it? A bouncer from the bar. I'm telling you, it is workers that are in on this. It's gotta be. Now, I don't believe. No, I'll have to look at an update on this case because I do believe someone's been arrested. I did hear. I listened to a couple different people telling this story, and one of them did say that they thought there was an arrest. Here, look. Where's it at? Nope. Can you see the big guy in the corner of that house and the skeleton in the yard? Those skeletons sticking out of the yard are like the thing. Everybody's got those. Halloween. Oh, sorry about that. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. We do around here. I think it was one bouncer. I think it was one. The fact that it hit on two spots, like they were right next to each other, so there could have been a scuffle because also at that site they found blood droplets on the ground. And this was not like right away. This was because remember, they wouldn't file a missing police or persons report for like 3 days. They had to wait. And then, by the time they do everything and get the dog to come in, like it wasn't right away. But there was still blood drops on the ground and a feather. He was wearing that indigenous outfit with a headband with feathers and a red string. So I have not, looked up 5,000 articles about that case to find out anything more, but it's interesting. Maybe I will. Yeah. Yeah. And also the fact that they think, well, that somebody has been arrested but weren't really sure. I think they said they had a suspect and he was arrested for something else. So the person that they are suspecting has been arrested, so they're in jail for something else. But that part I'm going to look into. I'm going to see what I can dig up about that. That's interesting. Yeah, appreciate that, Tony. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I always respect that. Yes, I talked about what Enton put out. Um, So talked about that, and I told the one case of Chris Jenkins. We talked about Riley Strain. Um, what else? Just the theory in general. Witchy said that I rewrote the next what's it called? Mindhunter. Uh, oh, Steve. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Let's see. Jeremy Lynn Alford was reportedly at the same bar as Chris on the night of the disappearance. Alford is currently serving time in prison for murdering Douglas Miller. Thank you. You guys are so good. Witchy, Jeremy Lynn Alford. All right. All right. I wonder who Douglas Miller is. Interesting. Criminal Minds. Oh, Criminal Minds. Sorry. Well, I'm lucky. I just made it with the battery on my phone. I did not make sure I was charging it all morning. I got to get on that. If you were on my Halloween live yesterday, I got copyrighted. Now, it was not a strike, so that's good. But I could not believe I use a paid version of an editor. I just use the simple editor that comes with Microsoft. I like it, it's user friendly, but I pay for it. And they have music in there, like they have stickers and GIFs and videos and backgrounds. I just assumed because nowhere did anything ever pop up that I had to agree that, like, the music we put in here is copyrighted or like stuff like that. So I just thought, never even crossed my mind that the sound that I was using from a Microsoft editor would be copyrighted. But apparently it is. So, um, I had to go back today and like edit that whole thing and like cut out the music and it's not that hard because YouTube will do it for you, but such a bummer. Such a bummer. Let's see. Oh, and Brooke, I had to take out that whole zombie thing. Like me talking about it is still in there, but I couldn't show the clips that got copyrighted. Oh, interesting. It's very hard to find abductors, right? Because it's just snatch and go and hide. It's crazy. Oh, I'm learning as I go. Oh, Kane, really? If you pay for it, you own it? Okay. Yeah, I'm not under. Is there a form you fill out to challenge something? I'm like learning all this stuff as I go. I was really mad though, Kane, because I worked hard. I worked hard on that video. I was like, well, I'm not going to do it then if that's what they're going to do to me. YouTube doesn't care. You're right. All right. So this smiley face killer theory is definitely uh, not just, so it's not just one case, it's cases and cases and cases in different locations around the country. Like we could talk about this forever. I did not mention Kata Scott yet. No, and I am not caught up on her to talk about that yet. I do know she was found at the old school, right? The old schoolyard or something. Um, yeah, Kata Scott. Oh, and you asked me to catch up on Turtle Boy. I didn't see what was going on with him either. I have to do that. I have to do that. Carlos and I tried to record together last night and we were discussing the investigation. I'll give you guys some inside tea. All right, since you're here with me. We got like probably halfway through, and part of it's mine. Like I'm going to take all full ownership because Carlos will just sit down and talk about anything. Like he knows what he wants to say. He says it well. He's got one point he's defending. So I, on the other hand, have I have to know about IGG. I have to know about the car, the make, the model, what was seen, what was not seen. The interviews, what was said, who said what. You guys get it. On and on and on and on and on. And it's hard for me to keep all that like straight in my head. So I got so frustrated. But I kept calm, but we did not finish recording. We have to go back and finish that. So I wanted to get that out tomorrow. But this might be a skipped week for me and Carlos recording together. It's gonna take me a while. Let's see. Click on the copyright under YouTube Studio, go to content, click find the video. Yeah, I've been looking at that all day, Kane. There are a couple that say they are copyrighted, but they don't affect my channel. And they did say that I'm free to use it. But I guess the people that made the music have a worldwide copyright on it. Does that make sense? So I left those ones alone. Like I'm like, okay. I need to watch yes, I will, Ro. I will, for sure. Thanks, Tony. Have a great day. Yep, I'm about to wind this down. If he won't talk about Chris, Unsolved Mysteries on Chris Jenkins. I'm backtracking, Witchy, to see what you said. Oh, the person arrested refuses to talk about Chris. Ooh, you guys are getting me interested in that. Yeah, let's look into that and see what we can find. For sure. For sure. Hi, Amy. Good to see you. I am about to say goodbye to everybody, but I'm happy to see you today. I'm going to give a special shout out to the members I see in here: Mark, Ro, Witchy, Witchy. Thank you, members, and the people I have modded: Brooke and Kane. Are you the two that I have in here so far? Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a great day. I'm sorry for all the sniffling. I'm telling you, it's gonna be 8 months of this. It's it's just gonna get worse and worse. I hate it. Uh, all right, my plan is to read another batch of documents later tonight. Sometime get me and Carlos to finish our recording. I'll be back Monday with my Monday morning live. That's going to be at 11 a.m. I'll post a thumbnail and schedule it so you guys have an alert. I don't wear hearing aids. This is my AirPod that I'm using as a speaker. Mr. Palad, am I saying that right? Thanks, Witchy. I appreciate you. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye.